What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. We're going to skip the intro today because we have so many games, like a record for a recap. So without further ado, let's start talking baseball. If you're brand new, we post these every single day. We recap every single game, so stick around, hit that subscribe button. The Yankees, they can maybe gain some ground on the Orioles because Christopher Morel, he drilled his 16th home run. I thought that Colton Cowser was going to pull a Gary Matthews Jr. and rob that baseball. Nico Hoerner, he doubled the lead off of Corbin Burns with an RBI knock. And Seiya Suzuki, he stayed hot. I put that in air quotes because the batting average has been but he has 8 RBIs in 8 games. Shutout Shota, he was back after getting Austin Hayes with a Pablo Picasso painted fastball. Jorge Mateo, he went down hacking. So Shota, for the 6th time this year, has gone 6 scoreless or just had a scoreless start. By the way, a Cubs rookie hasn't done that since 1893. Bellinger, please be okay. He took a pitch to the left, I think middle finger. He said that he could not throw a baseball. I'm praying that the x-rays are negative. And apparently the dab is back. If you're a teenager, do not get any ideas. We left this behind. Like, as a society, we've forgotten about the dab. Do not let Nico Hoerner make you think that it's okay to do. Michael Busch drove him in. The Cubs, they keep it there. They have back-to-back W's against the Orioles, which obviously means back-to-back losses for the Orioles. So again, the Yankees, they can gain some ground with a W over the Rays. Trent Grisham, he kept a long double, just barely fair. Volpe, he can fly. He scores all the way from first base. The batting average is never going to be there, but Trent, he has some pop, and he can play some sick defense out there in center field. Now, this was not sick defense. Yandy, he airmails it, and then Trent, he gave himself the green light to swing on the first pitch. He got under it, which is a great idea because there's a runner at third. He gets his 2nd RBI on a sac fly. Tampa, they did cut it back to a 1-run game after Yandy turned on the Jets, and I say Jets lightly because he beats out the double play. It's now 2-1. Yandy, he wanted to do even more damage as Clay Holmes, he's in there to try and put out the fire. And Grisham, like a gazelle in center field, he makes the play. The 2-time Gold Glover preserves the lead. Clay, he tossed a wicked sweeper to get Josh Lowe swinging, so he gets his 20th save on the year. The Yankees, they gain a game on the Orioles. They're back to being just 2 games back at first place, not 3. Now, don't forget, the Red Sox have been playing incredible baseball the last month. They got within 2.5 games of the Yankees in the East, but the A's, they actually had the Yankees back today. They were able to overcome a 10-strikeout day from Nick Pivetta. They had some timely base hits. Shea, he took a bases-loaded walk, and Lawrence Butler, he loves hitting in Fenway. Apparently, he went 460 feet a few days ago. In this at-bat, he smokes a 2-run double to score Andy Harr and Brent Rooker. Rob Refsnyder, he's having a huge year, like quietly hitting 303 with the 140 OPS plus, and the exit velocities and bat speed look nice, so it's not like he's just getting fluke base hits and getting lucky. Now, the A's were fine with that because J.J. Bleday, I think he entered in the auto double cheat code prior to the season because that's his 23rd double. He had 21 doubles total over his first 147 total big league games, and now it's 5-2 Oakland. Both teams, they gave each other another run. It's Miller time, though. I mean, this is just unhittable. 102 on the corner, and then 103 to end it. The Yankees fan base can breathe a little bit easy because for once, the Red Sox lost, the Orioles lost, and the Yankees won. So because there were a few rain delays a couple days ago, we have 2 doubleheaders in this recap. That's why I'm kind of going so quick because it's a monstrous recap. Thank you guys for watching, by the way. Let's get the first one out the way. The Cardinals hit 3 home runs. Some of their core hitters all hit one with Nolan Arenado. He smoked a solo home run. Alec Burleson, he crushed another one. He's on pace for 27 home runs, 88 RBIs, and 13 stolen bases. He could be a legit top 20-ish hitter in baseball if he ever learns how to take walks. Goldie even had a home run, but that was after the Rays started teeing off and they tied it on 2 doubles in the 5th inning. MJ Melendez, he doubled in Hunter Renfroe, and Garrett Hampson, he knotted things up after he smoked a 2-run double. Kansas City is winning now. Salvi, I mean, this guy is having a renaissance year. Like, he's always been good with the pop, but now the defense is coming along as well. By the way, he also had a home run in game number 2, so stay tuned for that. Pasquantino, he made it 5-3 on a sac fly, and Salvi, he secured a 2nd RBI. That's when Goldie, he connected on a pretty pointless home run. He has 13 on the season after striking out 3 times to start this game. General/closer James McArthur, he eventually got the save. He has 16. If the Royals can sweep this doubleheader, this will be really, really bad for the rest of baseball because the Royals on paper can be very good, and St. Louis has been very good the last month or so. Lars Nootbaar, he did some damage early with an Oppo Taco. When the Royals, they answered with 3 runs, just like they did in game number 1. MJ Melendez, he scorched a solo home run, and after Salvi lifted a sac fly to make it 2-1, Renfroe, he was able to use his raw strength length and dunk one in. Both teams kept on trading runs, but honestly, Kansas City, they were never really in danger of losing after that Renfroe base hit. We're going to skip to the 6th inning. Salvi, there's his 2nd home run of the day. That ball was way gone, 440 feet for his 16th home run. Cal Isbell, he's kind of a poor man's Trent Grisham because he has 7 home runs, 5 outs above average, but again, the batting average is never going to be there, or the consistency with the bat. Kansas City does sweep the doubleheader, and now they have to pray that the Tigers clutch up and beat the Guardians. Hey, Colt Keith, buddy, can you please go back to the leg kick when you were awful? I mean, he's been an all-star ever since he ditched the leg kick earlier in the season. If you don't remember, he introduced a toe tap in May, mid-game versus the Guardians, and he's been a monster ever since that point. Matt Vierling brought in Colt Keith with a sac fly, which is good because if we know anything about the Guardians, they never give up. Rookie Angel Martinez has been insane. If you have not picked this kid up, what are you doing, fantasy guys? The switch hitter ripped a 2-run double to tie it with 1 swing. He's got a 475 on base in his first 9 games. And this was one of the worst curveballs I've seen in quite some time. Bybee, I love the guy, but he floated one right down the middle to Matt Vierling, and Matt's been locked in, so he goes 426 feet. Colt was on again, so he scores again. Another Cleveland rookie clutched up. Daniel Schneemann, he launched one the other way. He's got 4 home runs and a 140 OPS plus in his first 28 big league games. Tanner, he ended up kind of clutching up and saving the bullpen. He had 8 strikeouts over 7. But Andy Ibanez, I mean, it's Christmas every time he plays Cleveland. Listen to this. He's hitting .431 with 13 RBIs and 17 runs scored in 19 games versus Cleveland. The Guards did get one back after Faedo completely imploded. He was trying to save it or something like that, and then they went to the actual closer, Jason Foley, who has 15 saves. So now both Cleveland and Kansas City fans have their White Sox caps on because they both really need the Twins to get swept in this doubleheader. Game 1 started off with Eric Fetty working around a no one out, bases loaded jam. You can't run on Luis Robert Jr. Carlos Santana, he whiffed at the cutter, and Brooks Lee, his broken bat ground ball ends it. They just barely got Trevor Larnach at second base to end the threat. Eric, he kept on doing his thing, a few strikeouts. There was a lot of soft outs, and he cruised his way through 5 scoreless, and he finally got some run support. Paul DeJong, he did his job. He put the ball in play. That sac fly put his team out in front, and there it goes. La Pantera, he extends the lead. Luis Robert Jr. now has 11 home runs. His bat speeds and barrel rates are absolutely insane. And same with Matt Wallner. Matt is top 1% in both bat speed, barrel rates. He has some of the easiest pop in all of Major League Baseball. And would you look at this? Michael Kopech ends it with an immaculate inning, 9 pitches, 9 strikes, ball game. Obviously, he's fired up, and you know what? I'm allowing him to be fired up because an immaculate inning doesn't happen very often. The White Sox stink. Michael Kopech's been terrible, but I mean, once upon a time, he was famous for dating someone famous. I don't remember who it was, but then he was traded for Chris Sale, a top prospect. He's been terrible, but I want him to keep it up. He could be very good when he's locked in. On to game 2 of the doubleheader. Buxton, he just jolted a ball to deep center. You can't get it past La Pantera. He's at it again. Luis Robert Jr. just glides out there in center. We head to the second. Benny Biceps, he doubled to left field for the lead. And what is going on? The machete put him in the home run derby. Martin Maldonado has 4 home runs, 3 in his last 4 games. I guess he's been doing a lot of tee work and batting cage work, and it's working out. Rookie Drew Thorpe, he was out in front by 2 when his former teammate got to him. Rookie Brooks Lee went yard for his 2nd career home run. He and Drew both went to Cal Poly together. Correa, he's made it back-to-back. He's hitting .310 on the season with 13 home runs, a 154 OPS plus, and 3 outs above average. This start to the season, honestly, is a Hall of Fame tone-setting type season. He's back on pace because he's only 29 years old, and he's already got a good amount of career war already with probably 5, 6, 7 years ahead of him of pretty good baseball. The Twins, they complete the comeback in the next frame. Ryan Jeffers, he gave closer Johan Duran all that he needed. Jeffers, he singled in Buxton, and Duran got DeJong on a heat-seeking 101 fastball to end it. So they split the doubleheader. The Twins are 5 games back of Cleveland, while the Royals are 7.5 games back, even though they've been really good. But that's how hot Cleveland has been to begin the season. So we have some shutouts coming up, and we'll show the blowout version first because Milwaukee apparently did not like losing by 10 the day before. They answered by putting up 9 runs, and in return, they shut out the Pittsburgh Pirates offense. It's 2-0 after the first. Willie Adames, he plays Yelich on a ringing double, and Sal Frelick, he went lefty-lefty for a single. That scores Adames. We're going to go from Willie to William. Their all-star catcher knocks a double to left field, and because Bryce Terang can fly, it's a 2-run double. He's able to barrel in there and just get ahead of the perfect relay throws. Reese, he loves hitting in Milwaukee. That's his 11th home run and 40 starts there. And check out Tobias Myers. This kid has been a lifesaver after 8 shutouts. Let me repeat that. 8 shutout innings with 6 punch-outs. He's down to a 3.1 ERA, and I'm hoping that he can keep this up, but the league does adjust quick. Just ask Luis Gil of the Yankees. The last highlight for this one, Adames, he got that one to go, and I can't wait to see what he gets in free agency, because after that 3-run home run, he's got 14 home runs, 62 RBIs, and of course the cherry on top, Gold Glove defense with 7 outs above average. I'm thinking he's going to get $20+ million a year easy. San Diego came into this series versus the Mariners feeling pretty good, and I still think that they're going to be A-okay, but they've been outscored 10-3 in the first 2 games, and it's not even like Michael King was bad, it's just his defense let him down early. Cal Raleigh stole his 5th bag. I did not know that the catcher even had 1 stolen base, let alone 5. Ended up being huge because Luis Ariz, he olayed it. He thought I was going to hop up to him, and nope, that is a run. Bryce Miller, he loaded them up, and then this is going to be the game-time run. There's no way that J-Rod, you thought that J-Rod was not going to be able to make that throw with his cannon. He saves the lead. He can be a 5-tool megastar, just the batting average needs some consistency. And I say that because the game before, he had a home run and 4 base hits. Very good. In this game, he struck out 4 times for the Golden Sombrero. Jorge Polanco bought himself a little bit more time. Apparently, the Mariners are in on Jazz Chisholm Jr. We'll talk about him in just a second. Polanco drove in their 2nd run, but it wasn't really needed because Bryce Miller, he tossed an incredible 6 scoreless, only 1 strikeout, but who cares? If you're missing barrels and getting outs, no one's going to remember in 4 months. So, yeah. Andres Munoz, he clutched up big time. Profar, he's been so good all year long. He's got the bases loaded, but he struck out on a slider from hell. Munoz kept on going. He gets the final 3 outs in the 9th inning, and he wraps up his 15th save. The Mariners, they've won 4 games in a row. The Padres have lost 4 games in a row. Seattle is getting hot at the perfect time because the Astros are facing off against the dreadful Marlins, and they're looking to sweep the series. They've already won game 1. They're going to win this game. Game number 2 pretty easy. The AL West is going to be a straight-up dogfight for the rest of the year. As you saw, Yainer Diaz and Jake Myers, they both drove in a run. Diaz on the single, but only 1 scored because Dane Myers threw out Yordan at home. But again, the other Myers, Jake Myers, he doubled in his 37th RBI. Now they're going to double the lead. Joey Loperfido, that ball is gone. He reminds me so much of Jarren Duran. Yordan, he had an RBI as well. So Houston is winning, I think, by 5, and Framber, he gave up a run or 2, but he was striking out everyone. He had 5 strikeouts after getting Ali Sanchez. I didn't know that guy existed, but he goes down swinging, and he ends the 5th with his 6th strikeout. Jazz, he tipped it right into Diaz's mitt. Rookie Trey Cabbage, he's got some insane raw tools. So he slices an RBI double in the 6th, and his exit velocities and bat speeds, they're all insane, but a terrible strikeout issue kind of renders it all pointless. Maybe he can figure it out. Yainer, he got 2 more RBIs, so 48 RBIs on the season, and this was all while Framber was spinning a gem on the bump. He ended up with 10 strikeouts, just 1 walk. So the Astros have won 2 games in a row, so they're keeping pace with the Mariners. And again, they're really praying that San Diego can bounce back and not get swept by Seattle. Now we have to talk about Jazz Chisholm Jr. because Ken Rosenthal, we all know that he's one of the more reliable reporters in baseball. He says that Jazz is 100% going to get traded. Jazz is 26 years old with 3 more years left of control. He can play second and center. That's why he's a tradable asset, because the Marlins can actually get something in return. Reports are the Mariners are in, the Royals are in. The Royals would be a fantastic fit in my opinion. Reports are also saying that the Phillies and Astros are eyeing Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert Jr. So if that deal does not go through, maybe the Phillies and the Astros will be in on Jazz. Do you think Jazz is going to get moved? Because according to all of the more reliable reporters in baseball, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen pretty soon. The Rangers are taking on the Angels in Anaheim, and Zach Neto started this one off with a base hit to right, and because the spin took the ball away from Jankowski, a run is going to score. It's not an RBI, though. This one is an RBI. Mickey Moniak, he skies one out for a 3-run tater. He and Joe Adell are having very similar seasons. Good pop, decent speed, but they've been brutal with the batting average and the strikeouts. Zach Neto, he finally got his RBI. The Halos are hammering their former teammate Michael Lorenzen. Neto, he does get back picked, so it's an RBI double, but he is out. Leote, he knew it as soon as he made contact with it, a 2-run home run, but guess what? Zach Neto had a monster 3-hit day. His final dagger matched Leote's swing. He's up to 12 home runs, 42 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. He's only 23 years old, so the sky is the limit. So the Rangers fall to 6.5 games back of first place, which is crazy to say because they're 5 games under 500. How are they still within 7 games? All right, here we go. We have back-to-back 1-run wins coming at you guys. Kyle Schwarber, he pimped his 18th home run. His batting average is up to 250, which if you know Kyle Schwarber, that is very, very good. He also has a near 380 on base, so despite the low batting average, he is a highly efficient leadoff hitter. Don't tell your grandpa that. In this game, game, Teoscar Hernandez announced that he's going to be joining the home run derby, so that's pretty cool, and so is this. Ohtani, his second base hit of the night, ties it at 2. The Phillies and the Dodgers both grabbed some runs on some ground outs and stuff like that, but I'm going to skip to this. We're tied up at 2 when Whit Merrifield, he got blessed by the baseball gods. 8 p.m. pop-ups are no joke. They're just as bad as a 2 p.m. pop-up in Wrigley. It's awful. If you've never played outfield, you just won't get it because the ball disappears in the twilight sky. Whit, he makes his way to third, and Trey, he legged out an infield RBI single. Bryson Stott, he saw that unfold, and he said, I'm going to just do that. He legs out an RBI infield single as well. The Phillies, they're up by 2. Ohtani, he's up, though. He's got runners at first and third, and he chases. As good as Ohtani's been this year, he's batting .230 with runners in scoring position and only .260 in high leverage situations, so Angels fans are having fun with that stat. The threat is over as Teoscar flies out, but the Dodgers, they got right back to it in the 8th inning. Miguel Rojas brought it within 1. Now, he did get thrown out at second base, which is not good because Ohtani, he's now due up 4th in the 9th inning. So if Jeff Hoffman, the closer for the Phillies, goes 1-2-3, Ohtani will be stranded in the on-deck circle. That's exactly what happened. Hoffman, he's got a 1.17 ERA and 9 saves. The Phillies are the first team in baseball to 60 Ws. Man, this has been a monster recap. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm rushing. It's because I am. These videos are brutal to make when there's no doubleheader, let alone 2. So anyways, I'm done complaining. Sam Hilliard is back with the Rockies. It's really cool to see him back where it all started for him. He socked a 2-run home run, and he actually had 2 home runs today, but I'm going to show that after India's solo home run. India is batting .336 with 21 extra base hits his last 42 games. Hilliard, he went oppo for a second home run, just like Trey Cabbage, or if you guys remember Bradley Zimmer. Sam Hilliard has off-the-charts raw tools, but an awful strikeout issue, so maybe he can get it under control in the second half. Kyle Freeland, he had how many strikeouts? 9 punch-outs. Now, he did allow 8 base hits and 2 runs, but at least he was nasty along the way. We're in the 9th inning now. Rhys Hoskins and Brenton Doyle, they traded RBIs, and good thing that Doyle matched Rhys Hines because that 6th run was huge. Stevenson has 8 home runs and 16 doubles as a catcher. Santiago Espinal makes it 6-4. Hilliard made a bad decision. He threw to third, so the tying run is now at second. Will Benson, he can run. He's now in as a pinch runner. He's going to get to... No, wait, he stays at second base, but Noelvi Marte does score, so it's a 1-run game. Ellie, he's at the dish. He bounces one. He's going to maybe make it. No, Tovar actually got him pretty easy. Jalen Beeks, the closer, I put that in air quotes for the Rockies because he makes every game stressful. He's got a 4.4 ERA, but 9 saves. All right. Brandon Nimmo, do not hit a home run challenge. Difficulty impossible. Lefty, lefty, righty, lefty. He doesn't care. Back-to-back games with a home run. Washington, they actually tied it on a bloop single from Juan Yepes, and a second run scores because Luis Severino, he made a mental mistake. You got to back up. Come on, man. What are we doing? That's travel ball stuff, Little League stuff. Now, lucky for Sevy, Mark Vientos, he tied it on a long double, and right after that, Jose Iglesias, he did his thing. Jose is hitting .340 with 14 RBIs, and he's also getting a ton of plays on Spotify and Apple Music because he just released a hit single, OMG. Washington, they had a mental mistake as well. They threw the ball around, so no double play. Another run scores. Tyrone Taylor, he tripled. You guys like that alliteration? Jose had gotten on again, by the way, so he scores on that 3-bagger. The New York Mets, they're back to being 1 game over 500, and that's a very important W at home. We'll talk about that in a second. Arizona is trying to get back to 500, and this is a tough task they're facing on the Braves. Now, they're already losing. Travis d'Arnaud, he rocked a 2-run double. Corbin, he couldn't get there, but no one could get to this one. Gino with a mammoth home run. Good Lord, to the second deck. Eugenio Suarez, he had a good game. We'll talk about his second base hit later. Now, Atlanta, they grabbed the lead back for 3 seconds when Ketel Marte went 444 feet to tie it, his 18th home run. The Snakes, they're out in front now, and Suarez, there it is, his second RBI extra base hit. That was followed up by a Jose Herrera RBI, so it's 5-3. Wait, how in the world did Marcell Ozuna get this ball to leave? That was on a line. And that also went to Atlanta fans, so that's pretty cool. The pen for Atlanta, they immediately folded. They walked in a run. Walker gets a free RBI. Perdomo makes it 7-5. So it's a 2-run lead for Paul Sewald, who, by the way, if you don't remember, has blown 3 consecutive saves. It will not be 4. He has 12 saves on the year. The Diamondbacks are 46 and 47, so the Mets are a half game back of the wild card. Arizona is 1.5 game back, and that's all because the Padres have lost 4 games in a row. out of nowhere. Chris Bassett had a rough first inning. It's already 2-0 in the first on base hits from Michael Conforto and Thairo Estrada. He's going to lock in, don't you worry. We're in the second now, and check this out. Both Varsho and Logan Webb left it all on the line. Webb got him on the tag, and you're probably thinking this game is all San Francisco, but Varsho, he had to leave the game with a knee contusion. I'm hoping that he's going to be all right, but Toronto, they rallied around him. Ernie Clement, who is this guy? Back-to-back games with a 3-run home run. He has 7 RBIs over the last 24 hours, which means, yes, he's going to have another RBI later in the game. But that's not before Conforto tied it at 3. But that didn't really last long, as Toronto, they erupted for a huge 6-run 6th inning, and they had 6 consecutive bases. Logan Webb did not look good in this one. Turner, Schneider, Kirk, and Clement, they all had RBI singles, and Springer, he ended that 6-run frame with a 2-run double. He had 3 RBIs in this one, another RBI double in the 8th, but I'm going to skip that for San Francisco fans. I'm just going to show these final 2 home runs. Patrick Bailey has 7, Matt Chapman has 13. The Jays, they do win 10-6 after those 2 home runs. The Giants are 2.5 games back of the wild card now, so they're behind the Diamondbacks. Well, everyone, that does it for today's recap. I'm done. It was a very long one. I'm gonna go nap. Enjoy the web gems. Thank you for watching.
On India, and that's on the ground. Diving stop made by Rogers, and he'll throw out.
This one up the middle, backhanded by Palacios. Throw, he got him.
This one is beaten into the ground. Oh, what a play by Kike to Taylor. They turned it.
Side sometimes. He did on the first pitch. That's lashed to center field, and a diving play.
2-2. Castellanos sky high. Freeman giving it a look. Now he starts to move quicker. And Freddie.
Like others, it rides through it. Frelick on the run. Frelick slides.
Clement and Schneider both racing over, and Schneider